Okay, keeping well and prepared for the week ahead. I'm not sure what day of the week people's calendar actually starts at, but mine, I always consider mine to start on a Monday. And I've got lots of work today, so this video will not be too long. Unlike last week where I had no work to do on Monday and therefore could spend more time explaining to beginners how to play the game. So go back and check last Monday's game if you're not sure, if you're an absolute beginner. But I will be explaining stuff here today, hopefully. And on Monday, I always class it as a game for beginners. So what's going on? Well, I have just finished undertaking one of life's important but rarely mentioned tasks, and that is getting the same amount of peanut butter on each slice of toast. If you've got 2 slices of toast, actually it doesn't have to be peanut butter, it could also be jam, but making sure that you get an even distribution on both slices of toast. Even if by accident you accidentally pick up a large blob of peanut butter to put on the first one, you need to take some off and scrape it on the second piece of toast to get equitable distribution. Are you like that? Or are you a person that says, hey, I'm going to put a small amount of jam or peanut butter on this piece of toast and then have a huge amount on this one so I can cram the flavor in? Whatever. Anyway, not particularly relevant to the situation in Brazil, where former President Lula is seems to be slightly in the lead, but I still find it distressing that so many people could vote for Bolsonaro. I mean, even if he's in second place, it's huge numbers. It's like Trump. I still can't believe that so many people voted for Trump in 2020. It's just outrageous that number of people could still vote for these people who have demonstrated who they are, and yet people still vote for them. Anyway, let's get off the politics and get onto the game of Sudoku, because as I said, I am limited in time today. Okay, so what do you see ahead of you, in front of you, or however you're looking at your screen? This grid of 9 by 9 squares, nine squares in the column, 9 squares in each row. Okay, so what is the task? Well, I think you could probably guess just by looking at it, even if you had nobody to explain the task to you. You could probably say, hey, guess what? I'm sure that this is about solving this puzzle by putting numbers into these squares, because we have some numbers already. And if you are a careful observer, or even if you're not particularly careful, you'll probably notice that the lowest number is 1 and the highest number is 9. And since there are 9 squares in each row across and 9 squares in each column down, aha, you'll say, I know what to do. Let's put numbers 1 to 9 in each square of the column and each square of the row. And I would say, well done, you've got the idea. But don't forget something, because we also have these small blocks here like this of 3 by 3, and they also contain 9 squares, and they also need numbers 1 to 9. Now the only thing to remember is that we must not repeat the digit in the block here, or the row, or the column. So we have 9 and 4 in this column already. We cannot use 9 or 4 again. Every other number is up for grabs. So okay, let's get on with the game, shall we? Now I can see some things already, but they're a little bit advanced for beginners, so I won't start in that way. What I'll do is I'll start by showing you how we can place a 4 in this particular block of 3 by 3 over here. And how do we do that? Well, when I click on a 4, you'll see it's highlighted here, which is useful. Makes things easier. Now remember, number cannot be repeated in its column or its row. So we have actually 3 intersecting 4s. See them? This one, and this one. So if we extend down this column and across these 2 rows, we'll find that 4 is not allowed in any of these blue squares. And if you're colorblind, I'll tell you that it's blue. But there is an empty square here, and the 4 can fit there. Excuse me while I finish some of my tea. I finished the peanut butter toast already, but I haven't finished my tea yet. Hold on. Right, okay, I've got to eat and play Sudoku at the same time to save time, because, as I said, I'm busy today. 4's block down these two columns here. Look, when I say blocking, I mean forbidding any other 4 from reappearing in this square and these two squares down here. So that leaves just this square. So you're ahead of me, aren't you? You know that the 4 goes there already. Right, okay, so you got the idea now. You saw what we did with 4's. So let's just go around this block, grid, right? We call it a grid, sorry. Looking for similar kinds of events or activities. Let's say this, we're looking for 7's in this particular block here, right? So when we click on the intersecting 7's, we see 7 blocking down here, 7 blocking up here, and the 7 going there. Now you may be asking, how did you know you're looking for 7's? Well, of course, I looked at the intersecting numbers before I looked in the block, and I just happened to spot the pattern of up, down, and now I spot the pattern of across and up again. So if you let your eyes move along the rows and columns like this, you're going to find places where they are excluded, the particular digit that you're looking at, and you're going to find one place that's left. If you are fortunate enough to have found the answer to that particular digit, 7's block up here like this, leaving just a 7 to go here like this. And down here we can continue with the 7's across these two rows, and that gives us just this square where the 7 must appear, and then we can say 7 blocking up here and up here like this, and that puts 7 into that square. And guess what? We have now got every 7 on the grid, because there are these 9 boxes, whatever you want to call them, and there are 9 numbers in each. There can only be 1 in each of the boxes. So in fact, we now have 7 in every row, every column, and every block, and we don't have to worry about 7. More tea, hold on. Right. Now, down here we only have 2 empty squares, so it might be a good idea to look around and see, first of all, to find out what's missing in these 2 empty squares, and then to see if we've got anything that can help us finish it off. So when we see we've got 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 9, we find what we are missing is 2 and 6. Now actually, we've got both of those. Look, we've got a 6 here and we've got a 2 here. So we've got double bubble here. The 6 blocks this square, and the 2 blocks this square. So we can do it either from the 2 or from the 6, but we can find both of these digits. 6 blocks here, so 6 goes in that square, and now there's only 1 square left for the 2. Or you could have gone 2 blocks here, place the 2, and then place the 6. Same thing. So we've completed a little block here. That's good, isn't it? Maybe the next thing we should do is just see what 3 numbers go here, because look, we've got a column here, and we've got everything except 3 numbers that appear here. So we know, we can work out what 3 numbers must go here. We're looking for 1, we're looking for 2, and we're looking for 5, because we don't have 1, 2, or 5 in this column yet. Now, is it going to help us? Actually, the answer is no, because we've got an intersecting 1, but the 2's and the 5's, we don't have enough information yet. So it didn't help us, but that's what the game is about. It's searching, and sometimes coming up with the goods, and sometimes not. That's really what the game is about. Let's look up here instead. Let's look at these 9's blocking across like this, and that's going to give us a 9 up here, like so. Now, can you find a 9 in this middle block here? I'll give you a couple of seconds, but I can't give you too long because, as I said, I've got to limit the time on this game. Right, okay, well done. So we have 9's blocking across here, 9 blocking up here, and 9 blocking down here, so that gives us a 9 in that square there. Now we have 9 blocking here and 9 blocking down here, excuse me, so that gives us a 9 up here, doesn't it? And now we've got 9, 9, 9, so all top 3 blocks have 9, 9, 9, 9 here, and 9, 9 here, so there is just 1 block left that doesn't have a 9. Now if you are a beginner, here's something good you should learn. If you have 8 digits, 8 of a particular digit already, you can always find the 9th, the final digit, always. You always have enough information to do that. So we have 9 blocking across like this, 9 blocking down here, and 9 blocking down here. And this is the final digit, 9. We now have a 9 in every block, and that therefore is finished. Okay. Excuse me. Up here we have 4 blocking across this middle row like this, so that puts a 4 into that square there. And then down here, do you want to find the 4 for me? Come on, find it, find it, find it. I'll give you a couple of seconds, but not too long. Okay, well done. Yes, we have 4s blocking down here and across here, so that's going to put a 4 into that square there. Well done. And missing digits up here are 2 and 5, and we look down here to see if we can place them, but the answer again is no, we can't place them just yet. We just have to come back to that later. But sometimes just knowing what goes into squares like this can be useful. At harder level games, you'll find that this kind of information is useful, but maybe not so much on a beginner game. Let's let's continue in this block down here because I like this block. Let's look for the 6. We've got 6 blocking across here, 6 blocking down these 2 squares. That's going to give us 6 here. And then the 6 that we just placed will bring along here, 6 across here and 6 down here. That puts a 6 into that square there. Now up here, can you find the 6 in this block for me? Come on, come on. You ready yet? Okay, well done. So 6 blocking across here and up these 2 columns puts a 6 into that square. And now 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. That's several devils. There is only this block up here where we don't yet have a 6. We have 8 6s already, and we are guaranteed that we can find the final digit 6. So let's see, 6 blocking across and up here, and this is the final 6 now. Okay, 6, 7, 9 are complete. I think some tea while I look at the grid here. By the way, if you are new to the channel, you should know that I never play these games in advance at any level, from beginner to advanced. I have no idea before starting the video. So I've seen the next number. The next number is this 8 blocking up this column here, and that leaves just that square there where the 8 can go. Now 8 across here and across here puts an 8 into this square, and the 8's blocking down now. Down here puts an 8 into this square. That's about as far as we can go with the 8s for the moment, without looking for some kind of difficult solution. Might as well do the easy things while we can, right? Okay, now there we have this row across here, and there are only 2 empty squares, so it's a good idea to check and see what's missing. What needs to go in these 2 squares is either 3 or 5, because we have everything else. So we look up here and look for any 3s or 5s, and guess what we find? Hey, here's a 3. So we ask ourselves, can a 3 go here? And we know, of course, the answer is no, it certainly can't. And so the 3 has to be in this square, and the 5 has to go here. We'll take that 3 though, because 3 blocking down here now actually gives us a 3 in this square, which I could have done anyway, but you know, sometimes you do these things in whichever order you feel like, or whichever is the quickest to see. Now here is a missing square. Now you can see that there is only 1 digit missing from this block here, or you could see there is only 1 digit missing from this column, but it has to be the same digit, because that's the game of Sudoku and that's how the logic works. It's got to be a 2. There's no 2 in this column, there's no 2 in this block, so we have to put in the 2. Now the last digit across from this row here is going to be a 5. We don't yet have a 5, so we place the 5 there. Okay, now you're really swinging with it. Missing digits here are 1, 4 and 8, but we don't have enough information up here to place them. We've got a 4, we've got an 8, we don't know anything about the 1s yet, so we have to leave that off. We've got 2 empty squares here. This is probably a good place to look. What don't we yet have? We don't yet have a 2 and a 5. So we look and we say, do we have any 2s or 5s telling us? And the answer is no. Oh dear, we don't. Now, actually, we had 2 and 5 up here as well, and that makes sense in terms of logic. But we still don't know which is which, so we have to leave that. There are 2 empty squares in this row. Maybe we can get one of these. I'm not sure. Let's see what's missing. Missing numbers are 2 and 5. And now, guess what? Yes. Because now we see the 2 blocking this square, So we know that the 2 must go in this square, and now we're missing only a 5 for this row. Right. We have our 2 blocking up here, and that puts a 2 into this square. And the missing numbers here now are 1 and 3 for this block. But we have an intersecting 3, so the 3 goes here, and the 1 is in this square. Now we can take that 1 and say blocking across here, and 1 can't go here, so it must be in this square here. And the last number to get here is a 5 for this block. Now, if you remember, we had 2s and 5s, right? So now this 5 means that this has to be a 2. I already remembered that from previously. So that's our 2. And this will be our 5. And up here we have, now this can't be a 5, right? So the 5 goes here, and the 2 is the last number there. We have 2 blocking up here and 2 across here, so that puts a 2 into that square there. And now there's only 1 digit missing for this column, and we look and check and we find it's a 1. Okay, we're moving very nicely on this game now. Most of the grid is complete. We've got a bit more to go though. Missing numbers here are 3, 5, and 8. Now, do we have 3, 5, and 8 over here? Yes, we do. Now, the interesting thing to notice is that 3 and 8 are in the same row. So when we consider 3, 5, and 8 here, we think about this square and we ask ourselves, can it be 3? And the answer is no. Can it be 8? Again, the answer is no. So if it's not 3 and not 8, well, it must be, ta-da! Yes, you're right, 5, of course. Okay, now 5 blocks across here, 5 blocks up here, across here, and up here. So that's the final digit 5. We now have 9 digit 5s, 1 in every block. Okay, what's left to get? Okay, at the end of this row here, at the ends of this row here, we have 2 empty squares, and they need to contain 3 and 8. Now we have a blocking 3 up here, so the 3 must be in this square, and the 8 must be in this square here. Now we can take the 8 that we just filled in, and 8 blocking down here. That means this has to be an 8. Now up here, there's just 1 more number to complete the column. What don't we have for this column yet? And it's a 4. So we can place our 4 here. 4 blocks down here, that means this is a 4. And for this block or this row, same thing, digit 1 will do it. Now 1 block's up here and 1 block's across here, so that puts a 1 into that square. We've almost finished the game now. Look, there's 1 empty square up here. Let's do that now, which is an 8. There's 1 empty square in this row or this column. Whichever way you look at it, the answer is still going to be 3. And now there's only 1 square left, which will cover this particular small grid here, this row here, and of course this column here, and it's the same digit that's missing, and it's a 2, and that will finish the grid. And so that's how to play Sudoku. Check out other Mondays that have Guardian, or check out the playlist that has easy or beginner Sudokus on this channel. Practice a bit. Don't forget, you must play it yourself. Nobody just watching these videos. You have to practice as well. And then try a few more difficult games, and then come back and check out for some more techniques on how to play the harder level games. That's it. Thank you very much. Enjoy your week. Bye-bye.